Right, we turn now to a story that is trending worldwide, including even on the BBC, and it is about New Zealand's first cat, who made headlines around the world, became a social media star far and wide, but is gone. Tributes are pouring in for Paddles after she was killed by a car near her home in the Auckland suburb of Point Chev last night. The kitten, who was adopted by the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and her partner Clarke Gayford earlier this year, would have turned 1 next month. Her untimely death has made international news, but as Anusha Bradley reports, not everyone is in mourning.
Jacinda Ardern has paid tribute to Paddles on the social media site Instagram, saying anyone who has ever lost a pet will understand how they feel in the wake of the ginger and white cat's death. She also paid tribute to the SPCA, where she adopted Paddles, asking people to be kind to it because of its good work. The SPCA's chief executive, Andrea Midgen, says staff remember Paddles well, and they've sent a message and flowers to Miss Ardern and her partner, Clarke Gayford.
Obviously, we will be there when they're ready to think about maybe replacing Paddles, but a bit early for that at the moment. It's just really hard when you lose a pet, and it never gets any easier.
Paddles was just 4 weeks old when she was found on the streets of Rānui, West Auckland, along with her 2 siblings just before last Christmas. The double-thumbed kitten spent 3 months in the SPCA's care, recovering from her ordeal, before being adopted by the now first couple in March. Sarah Jolly was the SPCA worker who looked after Paddles and organised her adoption. She says it was love at first sight.
She was one of my favourite cats because she was super friendly. And then Jacinda and Clarke came in, I think it was a Saturday morning, and I showed them all around, but then I thought about Paddles, and her name was actually Sadie when she was here, and Jacinda met her and pretty much fell in love straight away, they did, and she changed her name to Paddles there and then when she saw her extra toes.
The Prime Moggy rocked to fame when she was cuddled by Miss Ardern during a press stand-up outside her home on election night. A Twitter account was set up in her name, imagining a cat's eye view of life in the PM's household, with more than 11,000 followers. With the world at her paws, she was also a vocal player in international diplomacy. In an article published this week, Clarke Gayford wrote how the bloody cat came flying through the cat flap, meowing loudly before the Prime Minister's first call with Donald Trump, before being quickly bundled out of the room. Paddles' untimely death has made headlines around the world, with tributes pouring in, including from the US ambassador to New Zealand's dog, Gracie Brown. But not everyone is shedding tears. The infamous cat hater and would-be politician Gareth Morgan took to Twitter to announce his disgust at what he says is the Prime Minister's callous disregard for wildlife by letting Paddles roam free. Other Twitter users pounced on his comments as cruel and heartless, accusing Mr Morgan of using the first couple's loss to push his own agenda. Speaking from Parliament, Jacinda Ardern wouldn't be drawn into the cat fight.
I think I would just describe the situation as sad all round.
The first couple is encouraging anyone wanting to remember Paddles to donate to the SPCA. For Checkpoint, Anusha Bradley.
And here's the thing, with that call for donations from the Prime Minister, the SPCA has today received 6 times the amount of donations it usually does. It's their annual appeal week, so obviously they are desperate for support and they are getting it as a result of that call from the PM.